I couldn't resist the idea of doing a video about FIFA. The news broke this morning that apparently there's massive corruption in the FIFA organization, bribery, corruption. It goes all the way to the top. Well, it hasn't gotten to the top yet. As of right now, in the filming of this video, they haven't done anything to the president yet, but they got everybody else, and including apparently like the old president. So, to get caught up, apparently there's massive bribery in the FIFA organization is relating to, vendors that they use, media outlets that can do different interviews and stuff, access to the World Cup events, and the host cities, like where they hold these events at every 4 years. Apparently, that explains a lot. It really, really does, because there is no reason anybody would want to go play soccer in Qatar. There's just no reason. They've been talking about it's 122 degrees in the summer, and that's just there's just no way you can play soccer there outside. If they want to do it inside, that's cool, but Qatar has its own issues. It's human rights violations. The migrant workers that go to work there basically get stuck there, become slaves. Their visas are held, and only their employers can release their visas, so they give them X visas, so they're basically stuck there. So Qatar is just a terrible little country anyways. If I go missing next week, that's just what I said there is why. Yeah, so it never made any sense as to why anybody would choose that over some of the other cities that we're going. Again, I'm not a soccer fan because I'm not 12. This is America. Soccer is just not a big deal here. Nobody cares. It's something that our children play as a team activity, and to kind of run them to death. So they'll be nice and tuckered out when you get them home, kind of deal. But soccer's popular. I can understand why soccer's popular throughout the world, though. A popularity of a sport is typically directly in relation to how much equipment it takes to play it. That's why hockey's not real popular. It's really expensive to play ice hockey. On the flip side of that, soccer, all you need is a field and a ball. The only sport that requires any less equipment is stoning people to death, right? The U.S. there's no market for the soccer. They even tried with Beckham a couple of years ago to bring him into one of the soccer teams to try to make it a bigger deal. Nobody cared. The people that cared about Beckham coming into the United States are the same people that now watch the Kardashian shows. We just don't care. The reason the U.S. got involved in this is they were trying to use our banks to move their money around. It's literally like, we wouldn't have cared. We could have given two shits about what FIFA was doing. If y'all want to let them come to your country and wreck the place, go ahead. If they come to the U.S. for one of the World Cups, they're not going to affect our economy. They take all the money with them. They make these countries sign deals that basically make it to where they'll make no money. And as a result, when they leave, they leave billions of dollars of debt in their wake. So the U.S. didn't really care, but they started using our banks to move their money around, and that caught the attention of our Department of Justice, and they're going after these guys. We're talking, they're extraditing guys out of South Africa and Switzerland. These guys are going to be prosecuted here under our laws, and apparently these guys, I'm above the law. They thought apparently this stuff was really blatant. They didn't even, go through, decent efforts to try to cover their tracks. This organization's really crazy. I learned a lot about it. One of the biggest informational pieces I watched was a piece John Oliver apparently did last year on his show, talking about FIFA and all the issues, and kind of foreshadowing almost how this was all going to fall apart. But it's almost like they thought they were above all this, and they couldn't be prosecuted. Well, once you bring our banks into you're under jurisdiction of the United States government, and we don't have no love for FIFA. We're not, our executive branch isn't, we don't want to upset FIFA, they might not come here. Who cares? Nobody cares. So they're going to be prosecuting these guys to take it on. I really think that's great. because the rest of the world wasn't doing it. That's shame on all you guys. This is apparently like a locker room joke of how corrupt FIFA is, and no one in the world was going to do anything about it because they love their football. Even John Oliver admitted in his video when he's like, and here's the really power that they have. I can't wait for the World Cup next week, and that's just asinine. I cannot believe that you know, people were willing to overlook that stuff. Sure, our sports here in the U.S. have had problems from time to time. The NFL's, you know, typically in the limelight for something they've done or not done. Our baseball back in the day had issues with guys steroiding up and stuff. The Mark McGwire era, which I was a kid during that time. I loved that stuff. But I mean, we don't get so fascinated and enwrapped in any of our sports to the point that we would allow this sort of misbehavior. You can see that with how we prosecute our athletes. You know, it's all over HLN News whenever a football player is on trial. You know, because we do go after him because no one's above that. And you know, so. This FIFA thing, I think, is going to blow up pretty crazy, and we're going to see somebody else fill its gap. That's always, you know, when an organization like this, and it's all everybody at the top's getting creamed. I mean, it's all the way to the top that apparently this stuff's corrupt, and it's all coming to light now. So I just really wanted to do this video because I wanted to express my thoughts on FIFA, and shame on the rest of the world for making us do it. We didn't care. We didn't have anything in it, and y'all weren't going to do anything until ever because y'all want to see that soccer, and that's crazy to let these guys get away with what they do. Just because, you know, the sport, there's other organizations out there. There's got to be the football is way too popular in the world for FIFA to be your only option. If you are a FIFA fan, you stumbled upon this video, thanks for the thumbs down. Start supporting other organizations. There's got to be some out there that is this bad, and don't let the other one get to this point. You know, keep these guys in check, make them responsible for what they do, and these countries need to, you know, have more self-respect for yourselves. Like Brazil, the only thing I remember from the last World Cup was all the coverage about the unrest in Brazil from the people who were rightfully pissed off that their government spent like $11 billion for this event. That is asinine. If anything, if you guys really love this sport so much and you want to make it to where it's not, you know, this fucked up situation that it is, you really should consider, you know, they should consider just creating a place where you hold the World Cup every 4 years. Make a place so that there's all this bartering, lottery, bribery. Anytime there's a decision that's got to be made by anyone, money can play a huge factor in it. That's what we're seeing in our, you know, government right now. Everybody's fighting the, you know, Citizens United and stuff like that. So, you know, keep the big dollars out of it and, you know, make it more grassroots. I don't know, something's got to happen, but this FIFA stuff's out of control. So, if you like this video by chance, which would be odd, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Thanks for watching.